How about you? Wow. Did not see that coming. Oh. What's up, guys? Jake with TN Tactical. Come to another special video. Got something that's the first time for the channel. Today, as you can tell from the thumbnail, we are looking at a gun safe. Now, this is a gun safe that comes from ONNAIS, O-N-N-A-I-S. Don't know how you pronounce that, but something like that. This comes from them, though. This is sort of a budget-friendly safe that I think is a great choice to have in your home if you, say, want to keep your kids from not getting into your handguns, or if you want something that will give you a little bit of time, a little bit of security, and not just have it out in the open, essentially. Now, ONNAIS was kind enough to send this out to us for testing and evaluation. I told them that anytime we get free stuff, we tend to beat the shit out of it, and I'm really hoping that that won't be any different today. So, today we're going to go over the specs and features of this particular safe, give you my thoughts and impressions on it, and why you may, or may not, I don't know, it's up to you, why you may hopefully want to get one of these too. Let's see how she does. Now, as I said before, typically on the channel, we don't really get this kind of thing in. We are more of a firearms and tactical accessories channel that we do reviews on, but it kind of makes sense. I mean, we do guns, so, you know, it makes sense that we get a gun safe eventually sent to us, and today is the day we get our first one. Now, if this looks kind of familiar to it, this design, that's because it is a design that's kind of common. It follows a similar pattern as a lot of these more budget-friendly gun safes. You've got your little keypad buttons at the front here, you've got a thumbprint sensor the middle there, and you've got, of course, your manual entry key there as well. We'll talk about that in just a second. It has a few different buttons here to add codes, delete codes, reset, and all that good stuff. But none of that will work until it's open, of course. If you look inside here, and I know the lighting is going to be just terrible for this, but if you look inside there, it's got a little bit of foam padding on the inside here, a couple of blue LEDs here. Again, in broad daylight, you're not going to really notice it, but there are a couple of nice blue LEDs in here that kind of add a little bit of a glow effect, if you will, allowing you to actually see your guns even in the middle of the night. Now, that being said, this gun safe is big enough to fit not one, but two guns, plus, of course, ammo as well, in here comfortably. I tried to fit 3 guns in there, and it just wouldn't quite fit for me. Maybe 3 small guns would work, but this is like essentially a Glock 19 and a Glock 43X in here, the micro dagger and the PSA full-size dagger frame. You can see it, that's how it kind of looks in there, how it sits. Quite nice, quite nice. Now, as far as the keypad goes, you can put, I think, like up to like a 15-digit code in there if you want to. Probably won't do that myself because I'm kind of retarded. I can't go past 4. But you could put more numbers in there for a longer code if you want to. For me personally, I really just prefer using the thumbprint sensor, which, by the way, you can store up to about 30 thumbprints. 30 fingerprints can be stored on this thing. So, I mean, if you want to do 5 of these and then like 5 on your other hand or whatever, I mean, you can do it. It's not a big deal. Did I do my middle finger? Yes, I did. Sure did, because you never know. I might have my thumb and finger, index finger blown off. Who knows? Gotta keep it tactical. Now, it comes with one of these, like a steel cable. Essentially, you take the cable here and you're gonna run it. Let's say you run it around like your bed leg or your nightstand, I guess, whatever you want to do. You take it, you've got that loop there, you stick it in that gap there, and then like it's attached to something. Not a bad thing to have, in case that's just one extra layer of protection to keep someone from just taking your safe and running off with it. Now, that being said, is this safe going to be good enough to keep someone from getting into it? Well, you know how it goes. Anytime you've got a safe, it's more just a barrier than anything else. Any safe can be broken into eventually. If someone takes this, if they want to really take this, they're going to take this. They're going to get some steel cutting snips or something to cut right through the steel cable, or they'll get something like, I don't know, maybe a flathead or a hammer or something to try busting this thing. So it's not going to be one of those safes that you use that is going to be like ultra super like secure. And I know that sounds kind of counterintuitive for something that's supposed to be a safe, but it's more like a safe for, say, your kids, keeping them from getting into your stuff, or let's say you've got a party and people come over and someone decides to get a little sneaky curious. They start looking in your bedroom, they see that safe. They might see a gun laying on your bedside or check your nightstand, see a gun. Maybe one of those so-called friends ends up trying to take it. But if you've got something like this, that's going to dissuade them from trying to get into your stuff and not try to steal your gun. So I really think of this as being more of a preventive measure for that. Not something like, oh, if you're out of town and someone breaks in your house, well, yeah, they're going to take this one way or the other. They're going to find a way to take this and eventually open it later somewhere else safe, no pun intended, and steal your guns. So that's the way I see this safe. It's not like a super secure, heavy duty, 1,000 pounds, can't move it, can't open it kind of safe. Yeah, you could totally take this safe, get into it eventually. In fact, you'll see here there's hinges back here exposed. That's one thing, if you know anything about safes, you want to not have exposed hinges like this if possible. And I gotta tell you, these hinges seem like they could be metal, but they feel like they might be plastic. Do I think this is a bad safe? For $75, no, I don't. 70, 75-ish, where it might be on sale. Now let's talk about this key lock here. It does come with 2 keys, okay? 2 keys here. There's also a key in the box, which is kind of weird, a 3rd key that's there so that if you need to return it, they've got a way to get into the safe in case you accidentally lose your keys. So really they give you 3 keys. But you can use this to manually, it does take 3 AAA batteries, 3 AAAs, and they actually come in right here. They sit back in there. You need a Phillips head screwdriver to actually open that up. So I'm not gonna do that today, but it's there. Kind of see the blue LEDs too. I don't know if you can see that, but there's the blue LEDs right there. Now I've seen other reviews on YouTube from people that have way more safe knowledge than me, and it's kind of mixed, to be honest with you. I've seen some people say this is a great safe. I've seen other people say that it's a trash safe. I'm not really a safe expert. I'm taking this for being, hey, it's a $70 safe. Is it gonna be like the best safe in the world? No. But when they reached out to me and asked which safe of theirs I wanted to try, I said, give me the most rugged, durable one that you have, because I want to try to break into it. Of course, I didn't tell them that, but like we do with all of our red dots and other free things that we get on the channel, we are going to beat the piss out of this thing and attempt to break into it without using any of the codes or any of the easy ways to do it. And on top of that, I thought, why not, while we're doing this, why not put a gun in there too? You know, make it realistic. So the PSA dagger, the drop test dagger that we use for drop testing, will be in there as well. Got my cable here. Looks like a good way to sling it around, don't you think? All right, so that's the game plan. We're gonna try to break into a safe. All right, POV, you just stole a gun safe. You've got a flathead and a hammer. Let's see if we can break into it. Now it is heavy duty use here, right? It's supposed to be like 16 or 18 gauge steel for the entire housing. It's not fireproof or, well, waterproof or anything like that, so don't leave it in your house if it's burning. But let's pretend that we just got home. We don't have the keys, but we just got home from stealing this safe and we are trying to get into it. We don't have any codes at work or anything. Well, how would I tackle this? The first thing I'll do is I'll look at these hinges and see if I can take this hammer and try to break through these hinges and get them open. So I reposition the camera so you can see a little bit better, but trying to see if I can mess up these hinges here. Got the cable in there still, because you know we didn't have time to take it out. Let's take, scraping it up pretty good here. Let's take a flathead here. You know, just common flathead, nothing big. So far, the hinges are not plastic. That's good. I thought they were plastic. Let's see. Let's do this. Pretty obvious, right? Try this out. Oh, didn't press that button. It's heavy steel, but I think we can manage this. We're trying to force it open, right? Let's see if we can't bend this metal here. So, I'm just going to take this, get some leverage there, right? Now, obviously, this is not the weakest point of the safe. It's going to be up here. It's going to be right up here at this latch. We'll keep trying up here. Now, the reason why I'm not just dropping and beating the shell is because I'm thinking to myself, if I'm a criminal, I want to be as delicate as possible to try and not mess up whatever's inside. Because it could be that you've got jewelry or money or who knows what. So, I know I can feel I'm scraping that foam up on the inside. Oh, right. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. At this point, I'm like really doing some damage here now. Okay, there we go. We got it there. So, as we anticipated there, we broke through. We basically just bent this. We just bent this and bent this until we just forced it to come through, come open. Does it still work? It does, but it gets stuck. I actually bent this whole thing, I think. That right there, you know, has it getting stuck. So as you see there, we just tore into it, right? Like, we forced our flathead in there and we're able to kind of break away from this and push that little mechanism that latches it and holds it in place out of the way. So it wasn't easy, but it is possible to break into it there. So now, does this mean this is a bad gun safe? Not really. I mean, look how lightweight it is. Uh-oh. Now it doesn't quite work right, but it's not bad for 70 bucks. Of course, you can put your codes in stuff. The thing that I saw on the internet was this lock. This is apparently a lock that's kind of, at the time of the videos that were made, they were kind of cheap locks that you could actually break into with just a little nail clipper file. Now, I'm not going to try that today because I'm honestly not skilled in that kind of stuff, but I am skilled in my own form of lock picking, and that's with the East Tennessee flathead technique, as you see. So that's what I mean when I say that you really can't like think of this as something as like a real safe. You know, like it's a good safe, but it's more like a thing that you put in place to keep children or nosy party guests or neighbors or whoever from getting into stuff. And by that count, I would take it a step further and hide this somewhere, like in a closet or behind like a picture frame or something, so that's not, you know, out in the open. Because sure, you've got this cable here, but that's only going to be like a temporary measure, you know? It's only going to slow them down. If they want to get into your safe, they will, if nothing else, with a flathead like we did here. So, all in all, not a bad situation, to be honest with you. I think that we could do some things better. I love the thumbprint sensor. I love that you've got the keypad. It seems to work well too. I think we can do a couple things better. I think number one, we need to get a sturdier locking mechanism. This right here, this is plastic, right? Am I mistaken? Yeah, it's plastic because, I mean, you see it right there. It chipped up and broke off. See that? So that's plastic. And there is some metal for the actual mechanism, this device, that's part of the locking mechanism, but I would really like to see this whole thing made of metal, number one. Number two, you see how I easily bent this? I think we need some thicker steel if possible here as well. I shouldn't be able to bend it so easily with a flathead like I did. And number three, while I didn't test today, I would consider maybe looking at getting a different lock here, because if that's the same kind of lock that can be broken into with a fingernail file, well, that could be a problem. But this was kind of surprising. I haven't seen anyone else really try this with like a flathead like I did, but that was kind of disappointing that this is all plastic. That y'all can do better than this. So there's some pros, there's some cons. How about you? Wow. Did not see that coming. Oh. Look at that. So I was just doing that for a bit. I wasn't really like gonna test it to see how it did. That was more just me having fun. But look what happened. Look, you may not be able to tell. Let me get the gun out. Hang on. We don't need that. Let me throw that down there. But look at this. Granted, this is after I had lock picked it, but let me show you the damage here. Look at that. The battery tray popped open. This got completely bent out of whack. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. See, I hit this corner here, and when I smashed that corner, it popped this corner out. See that? What the hell? Oh man. On top of that, I'm just now seeing this. Look at that. Can you guys, I'm trying to angle it so you can see properly. Look at that. Like a hole busted out, and the batteries are getting ready to pop out the battery tray there, where that's barely held together. So, geez, guys. I mean, as far as metal goes, the sides are metal. Well, the lid is metal, but like this right here, this console is not metal. This is a weak point. This housing here is a weak point too. Yikes. Holy cow. So I should have done that from the beginning. I should have just like slammed it against the ground to see if it was going to come open on its own, because that's, I didn't even think about that. I thought, surely to goodness, that it wouldn't just pop open from slamming on the ground, but it just did. Granted, we did already pry it open with the flathead, but this is still very interesting that it's like falling apart on me here, right? Like if I take it and slam it one more time, what do you think's gonna happen? What do you think will happen? Well, that's what happens. Oh, the good news is I think these are, yeah, these are my batteries, so I'm gonna get those out, but yikes. What do you guys think? I mean, I'm not trying to knock on them, but it's like, it just busted open on me. Was that because of where I broken into the latch here? Or is it because of just some weak, fragile flaws in the design? I don't know. It's too late to tell. You know, at this point, we've already done the damage and tested it. So, wish I had another one to just drop test and sling around like I just did, because I would be curious to see how fragile the whole thing really is. So, yeah, I think this review is pretty much done, don't you? All right, so what do I think about the ONNAIS gun safe, the $70 budget-friendly gun safe? Depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a safe that's going to be actually thief-proof, this is not the safe. If you're looking at something a little bit more casual, maybe you don't have a lot of money to spend and you want to just save a few bucks and just have something to keep your kids out of getting into your guns that are by your bedside, I think it's a great option. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is they give you a couple mounting screws, and you can actually mount it to like a wall, or I guess to your nightstand if you want to ruin your nightstand, or anywhere else to give you a little bit extra security. This is a safe to keep kids and nosy neighbors and party guests out. That's it. It's 70 bucks, 70, 75, depending where you look. So you're not spending a lot of money for this. If I had bought this safe for $75, would I be disappointed? Not necessarily if you get it for the right reasons. If you're getting it to just keep kids out especially, I think it's a good choice. If you're looking to have a safe to keep thieves out when you're not home, I think it's a terrible choice. Again, like I said, unless you hide behind a picture frame or somewhere where they can't easily find it, because this won't cut it, you know, like it really won't. If I had paid like 100, 150 or more, and this is what I got, I would be kind of pissed. But 70, 75 bucks, it's not that bad. So the bottom line is, would I recommend this safe? I think so. If you're on a tight budget and you're just trying to get something to keep your kids out or nosy neighbors, I think it's not a bad choice. Other than that, probably not though. Because essentially, it really is just a step up from not having anything at all. Special thanks again to ONNAIS for sending this out to us. Guys, if you want to send us another gun safe out to try with the same test that we did here today, I'd love to do it. But let's be honest, they probably won't. Just throwing the offer out there and just in case. Guys, that's going to wrap it up today. If you enjoyed this kind of content, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. What do you think about this ONNAIS budget-friendly gun safe? I'd love to hear from you. We will see you. Oh yeah, no batteries. Next time. Look at this, look. Where I dropped it, just then, it popped open again.